Welcome to our holiday horror month. Today we review Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. Stay tuned and find out, does Ricky have what it takes to make this a deadlier night? This episode we review Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. In this movie, it's a continuation of Part 1, where Billy's little brother, Lil Ricky, becomes a murderer himself, and he goes on a rampage, killing all those around him. What did we like about this movie, guys?
I liked Ricky. Anytime he was on screen, his dialogue, the way his mannerisms were, his facial reactions, they were entertaining.
He had really good psychopathic, mannerisms.
You know, I don't like your attitude, Bloom.
His acting was over the top, but I don't know what it is about these 80s movies. I'm just so forgiving of that. It's humorous because I don't know if I just believe they're actually trying.
It's like everyone's trying to be Jack Nicholson. That's what I think when I watch this. I'm like, everyone's trying to be Jack.
Well, maybe we're just jerking off here then.
The deaths?
The deaths were maybe there's a couple that were okay.
Yeah, there was a few that were okay, and we got to relive some classics from the first ones. You know, just for those people out there who didn't see the first movie, and you're like, oh man, I wonder what the deaths would have been like in that one. Well, you get to see it in this one too.
Yep, every single death from the first movie.
Every single death.
Alright, let's hold off on that for a second. Let's talk about this one. Strictly, what was your favorite death?
My favorite death was when Rocco, the bookie, is beating some guy up in an alleyway, and then Ricky sees him, holds this big-ass bookie up, grabs an umbrella from a box, sticks it through him, pulls it open. There's just blood all over the outside of the umbrella. Key the rain.
Washes the blood away. What's yours, John?
I liked it when Ricky was going on a rampage and just killing people for no apparent reason. Just walking around with a gun, shooting people. But the best one in this scene was this guy putting out the garbage, and Ricky's just like,
Garbage day! Huh? No!
It doesn't make any sense.
He was putting in his garbage.
that part made sense. Why Ricky killed him made no sense.
I'm gonna name when he first kills the guy that was raping his girlfriend, which is a common theme in this movie, that turns Ricky into a murderer. He randomly appears in the car, and then he just starts driving forward and back, Grand Theft Auto style, to kill him.
It reminded me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, too. Like when the girls escape, it's just like... and he's looking, he's like, oh, did I get him?
And then, as a callback to the first movie, this time the girl doesn't freak out about being saved by a rapist.
Thank you.
Which is an appropriate reaction.
Exactly. First movie, girl gets raped, Billy saves her.
Get the hell away from me!
And then she dies because she attacked Billy.
Now, I also want to add in the scene at the end where he's going after Mother Superior. Because, Jay, you pointed this out. She put up the best fight of any person in a horror movie ever.
This is an old lady who's had a stroke, and she's in a wheelchair.
I've got a present for you!
She's on the top floor of her house, and she's getting away from this able-bodied 6'7" guy.
Yeah.
She's wheeling around. She throws a dresser in front of the door. She goes down the hallway, tries to get on her little lift to go down the stairs. Little Ricky swings at her with an axe. She falls down the stairs. She just pops right back up, gets in her little wheelchair, off to the kitchen. Let's get a knife. Yeah. Off to the dining room.
I was rooting for Ricky this whole time. In the first one, I wanted Billy to take out Mother Superior because I really hated her. And in this one, when Ricky's coming, I'm like, yeah. Go, finish the job. I would have been so mad if it just would have cut to Ricky dead and he lost to Mother Superior in a wheelchair with a butcher knife. That is the worst ending of a game of Clue.
Unfortunately, she got her head lopped off.
What didn't we like about this? I think it's pretty obvious we didn't like the first 45 minutes, which was just the first movie.
If you haven't seen our other review of the first movie, I recommend it. If you haven't watched the first movie, you may as well just watch part 2 because all of part 1 is in it. The first, I think, 35 to 40 minutes is exactly the first movie. It shows every single death in that movie. Yep. It shows everything that we highlighted in our review in that movie. Anything worth noting was in part 2 as a flashback, which has no relevance. Ricky wouldn't have known any of these things.
Yeah. The kills weren't as good this go round.
The kills weren't as good, but they did make up for the kills with the male nurse who had no lines whatsoever.
It was obvious that this movie was trying very hard to make its time of an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was 4.5 minutes for the final credits.
Well, according to IMDb, the original intention was to just use the entire first movie and then just add in a couple scenes of Ricky in a madhouse. This wasn't a well thought out movie. I can only hope the other ones get better. There's not a whole lot to say we don't like because half the movie was just the first movie. Usually we play What Would You Do? But because this movie was such a rehash of the first one, there's not many scenes we can pick. So I want you guys to tell me what you've learned from this film. What lessons have you learned from being Ricky, being Billy, being a cop?
Well, I think we all learned the important lesson of if someone saves you from being raped, thank them. Don't attack them.
Clearly he's a killer. I mean, if you don't thank him, good chance you're gonna get killed.
And you know what else we did learn, and we even talked about this in the movie, is the fact that Ricky really isn't a serial killer. He's just a vigilante. He could be a character from Marvel or DC because he's just a guy going around and he's killing people who are doing wrong. Like he's stopping people from raping people.
Now, John, we said that before he started killing random people.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
So
he went a
he's
little
not a
too far.
Yeah.
But the first two, he was.
Yeah,
2.
he was a hero.
And then he went and killed 6.
Yeah.
Well,
So
he went a little overboard.
it outweighs.
Hey, for all we know, that guy who was putting his garbage out, it could have been recycling in there.
It probably was in the 80s.
Yeah.
They weren't
Yeah,
recycling
so
at all.
Never recycling.
I learned a valuable lesson. If you make a movie and you put your characters in a movie theater, do not show the first movie as the movie they're watching. Also, don't make a lot of noise in the movie theater because you'll end up getting killed. And that's what we learned. Now let's give it a rating.
I feel that you either have to watch just the first movie or just the second movie to really enjoy this. You can't watch both and come out happy. And because I've already seen the first and enjoyed it, the second did not enjoy. So much was taken away from it because there was nothing original. As much as I enjoyed Ricky's character growing up, he's only on there for 20 minutes. So I'm going to rate this 1 jumper cable out of 5.
I think this movie was a waste of time, space. Just watch the first one. Even just to watch the second one alone, I think it's just not worth it. It's not good enough. So I'm going to give this 1 umbrella out of 5.
I completely agree with Trav. Don't watch this movie because the first one's way better and this doesn't need to exist. What they did add to the first one in this movie wasn't very good. For that reason, I'm gonna give it 1 unused stair lift out of 5.
1's all around. As always, like, subscribe, comment below, let us know what you think. Maybe we're right, maybe we're wrong.
Take care.